Hello ladies and gentlemen, Keaton here, and welcome to this week's look at the latest Nuclear Throne update. This is update number 19. Now for those of you who don't know, this is the one time a week where we take a look at the latest Nuclear Throne update and take that changelog and put it in a nice video format for your viewing pleasure. So before we jump into update number 19, let's take a quick look back at update number 18. So last week we saw the addition of character select animations, which you could see on the main menu / character select screen. So when you selected a character, you would get a nice little animation. We also got the addition of a very basic idea of what Rebel's voice is gonna sound like. And the big thing added last week was the inclusion of two new IDPD enemy types. The first being the shielders and the second being the inspectors. Also added were new boss themes and the very first lightning weapon called the lightning pistol. Now if you would like to know more about all of those inclusions and more, check out our previous update video, which also includes a link to the full changelog for update number 18. And with that said, let's jump right into update number 19. Now this update focuses a lot more on balances, fixes, and changes, but that doesn't mean that Vlambeer did not add some new goodies this week, so let's take a look. Up first are new decals for the sewers and caves, and an alternate version for the frozen city. Now from what I can tell, the only new decals really in the sewers are the overhead pipes. I'm not sure if there are more, but that's really all that stood out to me at first. And in the caves, it looks like they've added giant orange crystals to the walls of the cave. And as far as I can tell, in the frozen city, the only alternate decal that I think is new is that some of the giant ice crystals coming out of the walls, some of them are broken. I could be wrong, but that's all I could really tell. Again, if I missed anything, if there's any significant changes that I might have missed, let me know in the comments. Another new addition this week is that the spiderwebs found in the crystal caves now actually affect gameplay. That's right, if you walk in a spiderweb, expect to move significantly slower. If you play Binding of Isaac, you're pretty much used to this already, but yes, there you go. Now this week sees the inclusion of two brand new lightning weapons, the first being the lightning rifle, and the second being the lightning shotgun. Now the lightning rifle and lightning shotgun pretty much work exactly as the lightning pistol in the fact that, and someone actually corrected me last week, thank you by the way, lightning weapons seem to have a homing effect, so to speak, in that if there is an enemy nearby, the weapon will try to shoot towards it, and if not, then it's just going to shoot in a random direction. That seems to be the case for the lightning rifle and lightning shotgun as well. Now I don't necessarily know the difference between the lightning pistol and the lightning rifle. I'm assuming maybe the lightning rifle shoots further, because I could shoot things way off screen. Like, I'm talking like on the other side of the map almost, at least halfway. So I believe that might be the difference between the lightning rifle and the lightning pistol, is the distance. Now the lightning shotgun on the other hand, it definitely doesn't shoot as far as the other two weapons. However, it shoots a lot more lightning than the other two weapons, so it's really good for crowd control. It can pretty much take out anything and everything, and the good news obviously is that because it's a lightning weapon, it seeks out its targets and you can pretty much hit things around the walls. It's fantastic, it's super powerful. These weapons in general are pretty damn awesome. And that's about it for additions this week, but there's still a lot to talk about in balances, changes, and fixes, so let's get right on to it. First up, the Crown of Hatred now gives you radiation over time instead of drops. Now the changelog says instead of damage, but that's not the case. You still do take damage from taking this crown. It's just that anytime you take damage, you sort of just splurt out radiation. And apparently the Crown of Hatred no longer kills you. And speaking of damage, woes now deal a little bit less damage as well. Now last week we saw the addition of a lot of changes to the IDPD, and this week sort of just refines that. So first up, anytime after you reach level 4, the IDPD will now randomly spawn in the level. So they're no longer restricted to just proto statues and the frozen city and beyond. The IDPD will also spawn if you ever take a crown. So at this point, just expect the IDPD anytime after the scrapyard. And finally, the idle time for shielders after they've come out of their shield mode has been extended a little bit longer. And finally, in terms of balances, there were a whole bunch of changes to a bunch of weapons, so I'm just going to go down the list really quick. So here we go. The Splinter Gun now shoots an extra splinter. The Toxic Bow now deals more damage on impact. plasma guns are now slightly more accurate. The laser cannon now pushes enemies away while charging. I put that to the test, by the way, and it didn't seem to work. Enemies were not pushed away while I messed with the laser cannon. I don't know, that might be a bug still. Yeah. Anyway, the double shotgun, the super slugger, and the super crossbow now moves you back a bit when fired, so expect some kickback from those super weapons. Now quickly on to the fixes this week. There were apparently errors with the flare gun. Those have been fixed. Toxic barrels no longer spawn in certain places. I'm assuming this refers to the toxic barrels will no longer be placed on the portal to the secret level. I'm not sure, but I'm assuming that's what it's going to be changing, because why else would they move toxic barrels? I don't know. That's just my hunch. If you know exactly what that means, leave it in the comments section. Chicken slow motion now influences rain and snow. For those of you who like continuity, radiation flies out of enemies a little quicker, and explosive weapons now get higher ammo drops. And finally, there were a few changes to the gamepad support, including support added for certain things that were unusable prior to this update. Now those have been fixed or added or implemented, etc, etc. I'm not a gamepad user, but yes, if you are a gamepad user, greater support has been added in this update. And that about does it for update number 19. Again, not a very large update, but Vlambeer said this would be a very minor update. But hey, we still got 2 new lightning weapons, and one of them is really awesome. So that should keep you guys busy for the next 2 weeks. Because I believe, and I say I believe because the changelog kind of made this confusing, but I believe that Vlambeer are going to take a break completely from updating the game for the next 2 weeks, because they will be going to GDC, the Game Developers Conference. And while they're there, they do not plan to release any more updates. At least that's the way I understand it. But of course, the changelog says that the updates are going to be slowing down, so I don't know. Regardless, we will still have your back with Nuclear Throne content every Saturday, whether or not there is an update. So yes, you will still be able to trust in Tengu Drop to give you your at least once a week fix of Nuclear Throne madness. So yes, I don't really have much to say about this week's update other than, yeah, the lightning shotgun is really awesome. I did finally find my first lightning weapon in the Frozen City when I was testing things out. I did run into a really weird bug where the game just completely locked up on me for like a couple seconds, and I think it had to do something with the sound, and it might have been because I shot a lightning bolt thingy upwards. I think it hit so many enemies in the Frozen City that it actually locked the game up. And I was about to close out, but it came back, and I noticed one of the enemies were stuck in the wall. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure what caused that. That might have been a once-in-a-lifetime problem. I don't know. But that's really the only bug other than the obvious sound issues that keep happening every week. So yeah, other than that, yeah, it's still a pretty fun update. You know, you have a lot of changes and fixes and all that good stuff. Give it a shot. It should keep you occupied for the next 2 weeks. If not, it's fine, you know, it's only 2 weeks. And hey, you know what? Next week, Tuesday anyway, Luftrousers comes out. You can spend all of next week dog fighting, man. So yeah, it's all good. And with that, I think I'm just gonna wrap it up. So, as usual, if you would like to learn more about Nuclear Throne, or if you would like to purchase the game yourself, or if you would like to see Vlambeer work on the game every Tuesday and Thursday, except the next couple of weeks because they'll be at GDC. I think they said they're going to be getting stand-ins or other people from the community. I think Sleep Cycles is supposed to be streaming. I heard Rami talking about that on the stream. I don't know how official that is, don't quote me on that, but it's possible that Sleep Cycles will be streaming in Vlambeer's absence. So that's something to look forward to, because Sleep Cycles is quite entertaining as is. Anyway, so yes, if you would like all that information on all that good stuff, check out nuclearthrone.com. If you would like to contribute to the knowledge base of this game, if you would like to debate whether or not young Venus is or is not in fact the final boss from Gun Gods, you can head on over to the Nuclear Throne wiki and get in on all that lovely knowledgeable goodness, whatnots. And as a quick plug before we wrap this all up, I should remind you guys that not only did I do a nice little playthrough of Luftrousers, the original Flash version, with an arcade stick earlier in the week, that was Tuesday. I will be doing an arcade stick run of Super Crate Box come this Tuesday, and depending on when it releases, I will have a first impression of Luftrousers a brand new dog fighting game from Vlambeer, which is finally going to be released on March 18th. Yeah, but that might be later in the day, or maybe even on Wednesday, depending on where you live, because I don't know when Steam's gonna unlock that thing. So yeah, whenever that thing drops, you can be sure that I'm gonna be covering it for you, and I'll probably be really bad, but it'll be fun anyway. So yeah, a lot of Vlambeer content coming your way this week and even next week, so hope you're excited for the future of Vlambeer games and Nuclear Throne and Luftbrowsers and oh, so many good things, man. It's a good time to be a Vlambeer fan, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, I am rambling like a madman. So yes, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was informative, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!